This one's for Prince Buster.
Al Capone knows don't argue.
In 1983, a hot young ska band emerged from an unexpected place. California's Central Valley. In a town full of long-haired stoners, these rude boys wore flat tops and pegged jeans. The high-energy music they played was full-on two-tone. The band was Fresno's Kyber Rifles.
Great bands like Minor Threat and the Dead Kennedys were coming through Fresno.
A lot of us were wearing our Dr. Martens and pegged jeans and stuff, standing next to kids with mohawks, and everybody was having a good time. It seemed, like a place where we belonged.
The scene in Fresno, it was cool because it was all-encompassing. I remember seeing a guy with long hair. He could have been Spicoli, but he was wearing a white t-shirt with the Rude Boy.
It brings me back to my youth. It brings me back to those really hot, sweaty dance floors where people were just dancing like maniacs.
There were so many kids, those days where I don't even know if they were charging money. You charge $3 and put a keg in the corner and a band plays and everybody just comes. And they could be really fun or they could be kind of scary,
It was a lot of fun, but like I said, it was a lot to absorb. I was young, I wanted to learn about the scene.
I just remember it was a time of big hair and we were wearing flat tops and cutting our hair short and cropping it. And people thought it was like, this thing, like, oh, those kids, what are they doing? I really don't remember how we did it. I mean, some of them came out pretty cool.
Gary was big power pop, early, jam, early Who.
There's a lot of different influences I can hear in the music. Like, clearly the Specials and the English beat. And, the Untouchables had a significant influence on the band.
You think about people who influenced you, there was an element of the jam going on there. We wanted to have some sort of poetic, message maybe with that.
As I said, I heard some power pop influence. I could hear the jam in there.
I have a memory of Jeff Balo, of him singing Tommy Gun by The Clash. I remember playing some Clash songs.
And I listened to and Joey listened to a lot of two-tone, a lot of Specials, a lot of Madness.
Every time we were together, we were working on something new.
You're gonna have songs that are way to the English beat, kind of melodic, two-tone, drift into the Specials two-tone, and then it's gonna drift over to the mod, kind of power pop, Secret Affairs, jam kind of sounding tunes, which is really cool. The album's kind of all over the place, which is really cool.
It was almost magical because we had no idea what we were doing. We just did it over and over and over again until we had something in place that was like 3 minutes long or something, being in the studio and pretending I was a rock star.
From your first downbeat, it was high energy, go, go, go.
It's all coming back.
I think that my favorite song is Revolutionaries. It captured the romance of being a revolutionary, and I really liked that. I also liked the trumpet fanfare. It was a lot of fun to play.
I think we were trying to be political, huh? How political can you be when you're 16?
Where are the revolutionaries? Where have they gone? Where are the revolutionaries nowadays? Standing up is wrong.
Never Forget You, which was something that was entirely different from ska, entirely. And that's where I kind of think of there's this kind of soul and power pop influence that goes into their music.
Favorite songs, huh? I liked City Girl. I liked 100 Problems. I liked a lot of them.
Go West, young man!
I really liked Rawhide Ska. That was always fun to do at the end of the show and just kind of close out with that.
The first thing that really stands out was the intensity and speed of Rawhide Ska. I just remember, hearing that at shows and just going nuts. It was almost like ska gone punk or something. It had that kind of energy to it.
I also love Mark's Musical. I think that's a really pretty song. It reminds me of Tropical Bird, the B-side to The General by the Untouchables. It's that type of vibe. It's just a fun, kicking it by the pool type of instrumental, and I love that tune.
How did it start? Whose idea was it? Ska with scooters? Ska was, what defined the term mod ska?
A bit of two-tone meets power pop.
But mod ska was like scooters and mod clothes, but you were really more like a Rudy.
Kind of an amalgamation of a bunch of different, things that influence the music scene and the kind of the youth subcultures at the time.
Joey knew that I was playing bass in the high school jazz band, so it was like, hey, he plays bass and I play trombone.
And I said, wow, you guys are in a ska band, you need a trumpet player. And so that's how I got in the band.
The main thing was we were total ska nuts, just kind of just into it,
Everybody said, here's a list of 7 or 8 tunes. Let's get together and have a jam session, and set up in Eric Dansby's living room up in Fresno, and away we went.
There's no doubt that the Kyber Rifles had an influence on several bands that followed.
We could care less about the business side. We were all about making music and having fun.
For me, personally, this is part of the story of my youth.
You just came here to dance and let loose and be free for a couple hours and just go crazy dancing and get sweaty.